Hey guys, it's Carburetor. Today we're going to be going over how to stop surging for good. All right, I'm going to show you a couple things that are common problems and the most common problems, and then I'm going to show you one that you're probably overlooking and the thing that's causing your generator or Honda engine or any engine to surge and you can't figure it out. Okay, so let's get started. First off, here's a carburetor off of a Honda EU 3000 generator. The most common problem that you're going to find, and the reason why these things surge, is fuel starvation. So you got to find out why. Right here, there's a pilot jet, and a lot of people don't know that it's in there. Okay, this little plastic piece right here, here's your pilot jet. It's underneath this. This screw right here is the setting for the idle when you're in eco mode. All right, so this is the idle screw. Make sure you take this and you turn it in the amount of times, and you find out exactly how much it's turned in before you take it out. So this one here is set. This one's at 5 turns out. All right, so I'm going to turn it in. It's going to go all the way in to counting it 5 right there. I'm going to back it all the way out. When we take this all the way out right here, we'll be left with the pilot jet that's underneath it. I'm going to pull it out and show you what a lot of people are missing. All right, so that's all that is right there. It's just a plastic screw. All right, and when you screw that thing in, there's the adjuster right here. Okay, this is your bar right here, that when you're in eco mode, this thing kicks all the way down and sits on the nose of that screw. So that's why it's important you get that set back to where before you took it out. So here's our pilot jet, this plastic one right here. We're just going to grab it and pull it out. Just be gentle with it and slowly work it out. There's an O-ring in there. You don't want to mess that up. All right, so here it is. All right, so this is our pilot jet. Get you focused in there, all right? So what we're looking for here, okay, there's an O-ring that's right here in the bottom. All right, make sure that that's good. And there's a hole that's through the bottom of it. And if you look in there, it really doesn't look like it, but that's what gets clogged, okay? It's a pilot jet. It's very small. Here's a wire. I'm going to take a really, really thin wire, and we're just going to show you here that it goes through there, okay? So if you can see inside the hole, you get that has to be clear in there. If this hole is not clear, it's going to be starving for fuel. You're going to have problems. All right. So make sure that is clean and it can flow good. Before you put it back in, I like to just put a little bit of 2-stroke oil on the O-ring so you don't mess it up when you stick it back in there. It has a flat spot on 2 sides here and there. All right. So it's not perfectly round. You need to put it in right because there's a metal piece right in there. So when you push it back down in there, it can only go in one way. So we're going to drop that back inside there. That's your most common problem when you're getting surging, is that will be clogged. But I'm going to show you something else that some people will go crazy because they've replaced their carburetor, so they know that this is clean. They either put a new pilot jet in there. They're just sure that everything is done right, but they're still surging. And let me show you what it's going to be. Let me screw this back in right here. I'm just going to put this back in. Get it set again. Get that pilot all the way back in there. There. All right, so I'm screwing this pilot back in. I mean the idle stop screw back in. All right, there we are there. So then I'm going to go 5 turns out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone I worked on has been 5, so if you mess yours up, put a 5, you should be good to go. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about here is the mixture screw. So here's your mixture screw right here. Normally there's a stop on here, so you can only turn it 1/4 of a turn. Mine is taken off, and I got a flag because I wanted to clean that out. In order to clean that out, you gotta break the end of it off so that you can unscrew it. Unscrew that. That works in conjunction with your mixture screw. Okay, so this mixture screw works in conjunction with your pilot jet. Sorry. So make sure that that's clean also. All right. So with that all done, inside the ball here, 10mm in the bottom, is a washer there. Make sure that your float needle is not sticking. Float needle's inside here. All right, if you were to take this float pin out, okay, there's the needle. Make sure that tip is nice and clean in there, and make sure it's not clogged inside the hole. Okay, all these things are going to stop fuel flow. Still not the most important one I'm going to show you here that goes bad on these things. These are awesome generators. Get this back in there. There we go. When you're putting this back on, make sure you angle this properly, the drain screw. If you put the drain screw in line with this right here, you'll be able to drain it when it's back in the engine compartment. All right, so we know we got our mixture screw cleaned out, we got our pilot screw cleaned out, we got a good flow into the bowl, we got fuel flowing in there good, shouldn't be a problem. All right, now here at the bottom of the petcock right here, this is the part that screws up into the tank here. When you take the bottom bowl of it off, all right, you're gonna have a bowl catches stuff. This will catch water, debris. Make sure that's clean, and also make sure that this filter is clean. There's another screen right inside of here. This sits inside like that. Make sure that that's clean also, because that's going to restrict fuel flow also. Let me show you where the problem lies, okay? If you have one of these generators in there and they got some age on them, there's a filter that goes inside of the fuel tank. This sticks up into the fuel tank. When you look inside of the gas cap and you look down in there, this is going to look like it's fine. Right? It doesn't look too bad. There's no debris or dirt on or anything. Well, this one, the problem with it is that the mesh that's inside here over time has swelled up, or it has a slight just buildup of old fuel on it, and it doesn't flow good. So if I were to blow on this, it will give me some resistance, and unless I pushed on it hard enough, it wouldn't flow any air through. Let me show you what it looks like. Make sure this thing is clean. I've already cleaned this one out. Don't put dirty things in your mouth, people, okay? So here, watch. Good amount of resistance to push air through there. Here's a brand new one. Brand new one, when you blow on it, no problem at all, okay? No issues, full flowing. This one right here, it's a lot of resistance. So what happens is when you start to drain your gas, right? You turn the gas on, start to drain it out of the tank into your bowl. This will be sitting in that gas for a little while. Gas is going to be inside there. You may fill up the bowl once. And when you fill the bowl up once, it's going to run for a little bit, but then it's going to start to starve. And the fuel can only get through this filter so fast. So depending on where your generator is set, if you're in eco mode, it might do better because it's only using a little bit of fuel. And the fuel just kind of trickles through this thing and just kind of keeps it running. But it's going to surge because the fuel level is not being able to keep up with the amount that the engine's asking for. So this thing right here is restricting your fuel. So the way to do it is put a catch cup underneath there, turn your fuel on, and let that fuel flow and flow and flow out, and see how much fuel you're getting out of there. Make sure it can dump a good amount of fuel out, for a good amount of time to make sure it's flowing good. A lot of times people will turn the fuel on, they'll see it dumping out and shut it off, and they're like, well, the fuel flowing is good. It's not. You got to make sure that it dumps all the way out for a good amount of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this back in here into the tank. It comes with a new seal, and I got a whole new petcock here. All right, here's the part number, and it comes with, you can buy this separately, but it's not too much more to get the whole fuel petcock. So got the whole thing there, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this thing on with the new fuel petcock, new strainer right here, and this thing will be fired up and going in no time. All right, so look down in there. You can see that new fuel filter sticking up out of there. When you look down in here, the other one, like I said, the one that I took out, it's not going to look all nasty. Don't get fooled by this, okay? This is the thing that's going to clog up over time, and not clog, but kind of swell up or get kind of that gas residue on there. That's not going to let the fuel flow through it at the right amount. So all you got to do is when you take the petcock out of the bottom of the tank, you just reach down here with a screwdriver, push it, and it pushes it right out of the bottom. All right, so it's all buttoned up, got it back together again. Make sure there's no fuel leaking out anywhere. We're gonna turn it on now. Choke is all the way out. Fuel is on. Eco throttle's off. Golden. Perfectly smooth. All right, guys, so that's all there is to it. I wanted to make sure you didn't miss out on that fuel filter inside the tank, because when you look at that one, it usually looks like it's clean from the inside because it's not obviously gunked up, but it does go bad. It gets to a point where the fuel just doesn't flow through it fast enough, and it's going to cause it to surge. So it's easy to take out. Just drop, pull the car back, get that all out of the way, pull the petcock out, push that fuel filter out, put a new one in there, and you should be good to go. Guys, hopefully this video helped you out and get that generator running smooth for you so you're ready to go for the next power outage in your area, or camping or something like that. These are great generators. They're always easy to fix. There's nothing to it. These Honda generators are top notch. Guys, until next time, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for further notifications. This is TEPCO Cycle Repair.